people up into the sort of the periphery of space. What do we know?
Right. The whole idea here is to let an average, regular old citizen of Earth to find their way and feel that weightlessness at the edge of space. And what would happen here with Space2 is you go up to the edge of space. The pilots would actually remove themselves from the rocket as it's on its way up. And then those 6 passengers who are inside are supposed to be able to get that weightless feeling for a few minutes because the engines would be off. They could take those pictures, do whatever they want, say that they're in space, and then they would get back into their seats and then glide basically back to Earth. That is the idea behind this rocket to allow people to do that. But this is not something that has been used yet, from what we understand. This was a test run, it looked like, was happening here today, going on out in the desert, out here in California. But the idea was to be able to really just allow anyone who wanted to and who could afford to go feel what it was like to be in that weightlessness of space, to allow them to do that with these 2 pilots on this one, which is a bigger version, I think, than the one that they had before. So that's what the idea here is behind this. Still trying to get clarity on exactly what happened, still trying to get clarity on the pilots. We're now getting visuals in that are coming in from one of our affiliates here in Los Angeles, KABC, where you can now see that they're seeing some sort of activity out here in the Mojave Desert of what has happened. We are hearing that there was a crash, still waiting to confirm that as well, and trying to find out what has happened with the pilots on board. Unconfirmed reports at this point that 1 pilot may have perished, but we're still trying to confirm that, Brooke.
Let me jump in, Stephanie Elam. Thank you. Stay with me as we look at these live pictures over the Mojave Desert, and you can see some of the area cordoned off with what looked like police tape. Miles O'Brien, I'm hearing we have you. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can, Brooke. What a devastating week for commercial space this has been, and this news is just a complete blow to the gut. This was an important test.
O'Brien, I'm hearing we have you. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can, Brooke. What a devastating week for commercial space this has been, and this news is just a complete blow to the gut. This was an important test for Virgin Galactic after 9 months of downtime as they worked to come up with a new engine for the SpaceShipTwo. They had, as you may recall, the roots of this program go back to 2004 and the Ansari X Prize, at which time Spaceship One, a much smaller craft developed by Burt Rutan and a company called Scaled Composites, won that X Prize, proving that they could fly to space in a short period of time. And when we say space, we're talking about 62 miles as the kind of the arbitrary line between space and being on the planet. Out of that, Sir Richard Branson of the Virgin brand decided to create the Virgin Galactic space line idea. And Spaceship 2 is a larger version, much larger version of the Spaceship 1 test craft that was that successful X Prize competition. 2 pilots, and then
we're losing you. Miles O'Brien, we just lost you. So what he was saying, and that was interesting, so 2 pilots, he was talking about 2 pilots that would have been flying on the Spaceship 2, and that's when we lost him. We're working to get him again. But again, you're looking at live pictures. If you're just joining us, this is what we know. It's not a lot. We're working on getting more information. But on the right side of your screen, these are live pictures over this vast Mojave Desert. And what we have is this.